This island was settled by the Europeans as early as 1456. The people from what we call then the Baltic Republic of Kurland, now it is part of Latvia, were the first people who tried to acquire this island from the local authorities. And when they settled, they immediately started building a fort. But soon after, they were overcome by the British. Actually, the first people who landed here from Europe were the Portuguese. The famous explorer Cadamosco reached this island quite a little bit earlier, but they never tried to acquire it. It was the Latvians who actually acquired it, but we were soon after overtaken by the British. And over the years, it was a source of contention between various Europeans, including the Dutch, even the Spanish. Even a band of Welsh pirates were able to overcome this island and seize it. Basically, it was kind of a fortified warehouse where they kept their goods. I'm not sure if it is right to call the illegitimate victims of the illegitimate trade goods.
Oh, no, if you're referring to people, no.
Yes, but in principle goods, both legitimate and illegitimate.
Kidnapped people.
Usually the captured Africans were placed in they have their separate quarters that was actually outside the fort. Except for this place inside the fort where they say they put recalcitrant enslaved Africans. And the significance of this island is undoubted. It's certainly, it is in the UNESCO World Heritage List, which signifies that it is of outstanding universal significance, more because of the things that happened here. It gives you an idea, together with several sites in this vicinity, you have an idea on the period of European occupation from the beginning to almost the end. The end we also represent in Fort Bullen, which is on the other side in Barra, which was purposely built to stop the trade in slaves as this thing from perpetuating the trade which this island represents. Basically, the island is in ruins, and we don't have any intention of rebuilding it because its ruinous state is in itself a reflection of the happenings, the constant bombardments, the fighting against each other which happened here. So the ruinous state, in fact, it gives us a lesson in history, and we do not have any intention to rebuild it. But our main preoccupation is stabilizing it so that it doesn't deteriorate any further than it has already done. At the moment, we do that by putting up this, partly by putting up these sea defenses, because it is most vulnerable to tidal erosion. We have already put a sea defense on the most vulnerable part of the island. And actually, we're using the methods they used before to extend the island. The island was so small, so in its heydays, they had to artificially extend it to get more room to do whatever they wanted to do. So we have started that. That's what you can see here. Ideally, we would like to have this surround the island. The other thing we do on the fabric is kind of stabilize it so that the top plants and things do not grow on top and the ruins do not. We don't like people stepping on the walls or removing things. Then, what else would you like to know?
What are the do's and don'ts when we go on the island to visit?
No, we don't like people picking stones. We don't like people treading on the walls. And we don't like people picking anything whatsoever. Because generally speaking, there are a lot of leftovers like beads and things like that which you can see. But we wouldn't want people to be removing them because it is taking them out of context. And they are better interpreted here. And on the landward side, we have a museum that is specially devoted to interpreting the trade in enslaved Africans. Then you can see in orange the guides of the area, whom we have trained to serve as guides for visitors. So I would suggest that we break ourselves up in groups and we can follow the guides and they can tell you more in depth. But at the same time, we have started what we call a revamp project, and as part of that revamp project, we already have signage which is self-explanatory. Even if you are not guided, you should be able to read. We have them in strategic locations where you can learn more, and this is authoritative research on what we have been able to learn about that. If you have any special questions, I can. Oh, Clary, now I think the first thing we should do is offer prayers to the departed ancestors, the victims of the trade. Usually that's what we would do. And Clary Mendy, who leads the group, has kindly offered to say the prayers to the departed brothers and sisters.
No, Clary's in the boat.
Clary is... Who can offer prayers?
Sister Win.
Sister Win.
Sister Win.
Sister Win.
Yes, Sister Win.
Win.
My honorable minister.
Sister Win.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, when we go, can we do it in groups that are reasonable, not to help bring about
Yeah.
you understand?
Like groups
So
of
let them
15,
Yeah,
20.
exactly.
Follow one of these guys with the yellow
In that way it's
t-shirt.
orderly.
You do the orange t-shirt.
Yeah.
The guys in the orange t-shirts. But we would like somebody to volunteer to offer. Oh, sister. Sister, we would like you to offer prayers to our departed brothers and sisters.
Greetings.
Can we have prayers, please?
Please, we're
we have
having
prayers?
prayers.
We would like to give thanks and to remember.
Hello guys, can you turn up our phones please, if you have your phone or vibration?
Silence, please.
Silence, please.
Firstly, I'd like to thank our ancestors and the Almighty, or whoever we reach out to. For me, it's the universe. I want to pay homage to our ancestors for the way that they've paved for us, for what they endured, for all that they had to take on for us to be here today. And I want to pay thanks to, and I'll name a few, Nanny.
Nat Turner.
Ashe.
Come on, you name them with me.
Ashe.
Pay homage.
Dinwas Bessie. Bussa.
Ashe. Shaka Zulu.
Tusa Lobato.
We give thanks. Ashe.
Desaline.
Ashe.
Tobogo.
Ashe.
Queen Ashantewa.
Ashe.
Queen Nzinga.
Ashe. We need to. Ashe. We need to remember our ancestors. Ashe. 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 Remember our ancestors, not only today that we're here. Take away. Ashe. Take away from here. For us, when we go back to wherever we came from, we need to remember today and pay homage each day of your life. When you're back doing whatever you're doing with your families and your community, don't just come here and go away and think, oh, I've been to the Roots Festival. Remember our ancestors daily. Let them be your driving force. Yes, we have to move on from history. A brother said that earlier on. Yes, we can't keep holding on, but if we don't know where we're coming from, we certainly ain't going to know where we're going. So please, I'm asking you, make use of today, for this is a great moment and a great time. I want to also rise up Alex Ailey's family for being here and remembering his memory. And Kunta Kinteh's family, we must pay homage to them. And our family, I am going to say, remember my father, Ferdinand Graham. And those of you who want to remember anybody that is in your family,
Francis Williams.
William Barty. Henry Smith. Lucille Stevens.
Jenny Lindsay.
Louise Palmer.
and all the unsung heroes and sheroes.
And the children as well.
That's right. So I want to thank you all. I want to thank you all. And if I had some white spirit, I would pour some libation now, but we will do that in our memories. So, can I have some water? Can I have some water? Thank you.
Ashe. Ashe.
Thank you.
Vengeance.
You are welcome now to follow the guides. And please separate yourself so that people...
It's your first time here?
I organise trips here regularly, twice every year. I bring groups of African descendants from the UK to reconnect with the motherland.
What's your name? Sorry.
My name is Sister Angie.
In this spirit of culture exchange, sister, would you like to ask them any questions
Yes, I
about
would
the
like to-
experience being on this island?
Yes, I would. And I was just waiting for them to finish doing what they're doing. And I want to know why you're here and what this experience does for you.
We are journalists, so we are here because
We want to know your history and explain it to our readers in Spain.
Right, so it's for the press?
yes,
Yes, okay. And do you, in Spain, in terms of teaching cultural awareness, in your schools, does that happen?
no, sorry, but no.
Europe in general, I think it's very egocentric. And we don't learn about other cultures.
Yes,
But you
our
play a
history.
significant part in our history.
Yeah,
So
well,
that's-
children in school they studied the age of slavery, but they are not. It's only a mention. It's not a focus on them on this issue. No one.
And in terms of Africans in Europe, what's the population like?
It's less than UK or Central Europe.
Yes.
Definitely really low. And the immigration who came to Spain from black people is really tiny. Came in since, I don't know, 30 years, like too much. Yeah? So they started right now to came people and settle up. So for second generation, it's really soon to say that we have a lot of people with roots in Spain.
Okay. Do you know anything about reparations?
You can tell us.
Please.
You know, reparations means repairing the damage that has been done. Hence why we're here. This is part of. But it's about, all those that were involved in the transatlantic slave trade, recognizing the damage that it's caused on us. And it doesn't mean paying in money. It can be resources. It can be agriculture, it can be manpower. There's many ways.
Or an apology.
Absolutely, and because our ancestors suffered greatly, and I hope it came out in my speech, but it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me.
Yeah, it was touching.
To not hold on to the past, however, but it's a significant part of my being, and I have to remember that, and that has to be my driving force, because those before me paved the way for me to be here today. So it's important that I don't feel a way to speak about where I'm coming from and not compromise who I am, for nobody. We're all different, we're all unique. But, in terms of where we're coming from as Africans, we've always had to kind of compromise, fit in place. And that's why I said to you about, when do you teach history, because Europe played a significant part. Spain,
Spain also, yeah.
What does British government think about this operation?
We are fighting it right now, and we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop, because we deserve it. What we experienced, everybody's always trying to tell us about what everybody else experienced. However, we've got to take on board what and it's had a significant impact on the generations coming down. So there's going to be a march on the 1st of August in the UK.
A lady told us
You know,
before,
yes.
Do you think there has been a change when Barack Obama reached the government?
Has no impact in this.
Don't even let me go down that road today.
Yes, please.
No, don't wait for me. Do what you're doing.
Sure.
Yes, because I've been here many times before.
Okay, what
Yeah,
about
but you may need to go over there as being journalists, yeah?
Okay.
But I'm here.
What
Maybe
about,
fine.
sorry, one last question. What about, you're only based on UK or you are all over the world?
Worldwide. In
Worldwide?
terms of the reparations?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It's global.
Can I ask a question? How do you guys feel about being here? I know that you're journalists and you're here to do a job, and we're professionals in our own right as well.
Yeah.
But we're here as humans initially, so asking you guys as humans, how do you feel being here? And regarding everything that you've learned and you've heard, how do you feel you could explain that just for our research as well.
If I can say something, for me it's painful. I don't mind the colors at the end of the day. It's human beings suffering at the end of the day. For me, the skin is not the problem. The problem is the suffering of, So I'm on your side, but I can be in the other side for another people suffering. Yeah. That's what I can say.
Okay. How about the other humans?
I agree with him. I think this is the important and how do I feel? Maybe a little bit guilty because I don't know so much about history about this, and I think it's important to our readers and our country to know this. So.
Okay.
Yourself?
For me, the same. I think that it's an opportunity to know more about you and your culture and to share it because we are all humankind and it's the same people.
Okay.
All right.